trip to the dentist turns deadly, and even though the dentist was at fault, he's still practicing.
It's already one of the Arizona Dental Board's most controversial cases, and tonight ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing exposes troubling new details.
Complaint filed with the board.
This is Dr. Glenn Doyen. And on July 21st, 2010, a man died after sitting in his chair. In a 3-hour procedure, Doyen oversedated his patient and failed to properly monitor his condition. As punishment, the dental board ordered just 16 hours of continuing education. It's a lack of discipline we found troubles attorneys, state auditors, dental experts, and patients.
I was in complete shock. I wouldn't have ended up in his chair had I known that.
We met Vicki Kobrick at a dental board meeting.
I am another victim of Dr. Glenn Doyen.
Vicki was treated by Dr. Doyen shortly after the death, and she filed her own complaint saying Doyen left her with permanent damage. Her complaint was dismissed.
This is the Arizona State Dental Board. This is an entity that should be there to protect the public, and they're not taking it seriously.
We've spent months working to uncover more information about this death. It hasn't been easy. Sources say the patient's family settled before filing a lawsuit and signed a non-disclosure agreement, meaning important details and evidence will never be public. Until now, the only facts available to the public are 9 short paragraphs in the dental board's finding, and a short description in a 2014 state audit, when auditors also criticized the low level of discipline. But we uncovered this email written to a state senator by Dr. Donald Hoagland. Hoagland is an oral surgeon and anesthesia expert, and he was the chief investigator on this death. But he quit reviewing cases for the board because of how they handled this case. He declined to be interviewed about his email, saying it speaks for itself. Hoagland wrote, after asking the board why it went easy on Dr. Doyen, they said because he's a good Christian and he does things for the board. And when Hoagland asked why the case wasn't sent to law enforcement for review, he was told, we don't have to, according to state statutes. On this last point, is that correct? Well, we pulled state laws and went to former U.S. Attorney for Arizona, Paul Charlton.
There's a void in the law, and there would have to be some other law put into place if the board would be required to move this on to law enforcement for their review.
Dental Board Executive Director Elaine Huguenin declined an interview, but in an email confirmed the board did not notify law enforcement. That doesn't sit well with this former prosecutor.
I think it'd be safe to say as a matter of public policy, when there's a death, when it's the ultimate taking from a family, then yes, it seems reasonable that someone outside of the dental board should make sure that this matter has been reviewed.
Why do you think it's reasonable that this would be reasonable public policy to require that?
They aren't qualified to make independent determinations as to when and if a crime has occurred.
Dave Biskobing on that story for us. Dr. Doyen did not respond to several calls or emails. A message left at his office also was not returned.